Okay, so let's go over basic pinch pot method. You first want to wedge it, and you can do that on any hard surface. Best thing about clay is that it's just dirt, so it'll wipe off of anything, and it's not like it's unsanitary or anything. It's just clay. So wedge it down really nicely. You're going to form it into a ball. You can also do a cylinder because you guys are going to be making a pinch pot. So if it's longer and taller, that's okay too. So you're going to take your thumb, stick it straight down the middle. Don't go all the way through the bottom, then you'll have a bottomless pot. But do start with your fingers down here at the bottom. You're going to take your fingers and you're going to push up. That part was a little bit more uneven, so I'm going to push more there. But it's just like when you were throwing in that you need to use gentle pressure over a longer period of time. So you don't want to do everything right at once. You can't thin it out all the way that you want it in the very beginning. Then you're going to take your fingers once you've kind of cleaned out that bottom corner and pushed it out the same that you would have done when you were centering it. And I'm pinching now along the bottom portion, and I'm going to start coming up and pinching along the side walls. So you can see that I'm twisting it regularly, and I'm trying to even out the walls. I'm trying to thin out the walls really evenly. I'm going to switch to my other hand because that one was tired. I'm coming now to the top. So now you can start seeing the change a little bit more, but I've got a lot more space inside than I did just a minute ago. After you've pinched for a while, you can use your thumb to sweep along the inside. You have to have counter pressure. Just like when you were throwing, if you put your hands on like apart from each other, they're not across from each other, and you don't have stability and you don't have counter pressure. So hold your pot in your hand, take your thumb along the inside, and you're going to sweep along the inside. So I'll do this for a while until I get the inside a lot more smooth. This is to help it not only look nice, but it's helping even out the walls from the pinching that you did. You can do the same thing on the outside. I'm going to hold the inside and I'm going to sweep with my fingers. You can go vertical, you can also go horizontal, but nothing can overestimate the power of the 45-degree angle. If you take your finger and you smooth like at a diagonal to the clay, it's incredibly helpful, both if you smooth that way with your finger and if you do it later with a fettling knife. Because you guys don't have fettling knives, just use a butter knife. It's the same thing. And if you don't want any ridges from where there's serration on the butter knife, just use like the back side of it where it's smooth. So I'm coming through here, I have my hand on the inside, my thumb is pushing, it's not really pushing, it's more like pulling the clay. So there's a little bit pressure down, but then it's pulling the clay along because I'm trying to move clay from the thicker parts to the thinner parts. So you can see where there's a little bit of extra clay building up down here. That's great because then I can just smooth it out down there and it'll thin it out a bit. I'm going to pound the bottom a little bit to flatten it out. You can see that there's these aren't necessarily cracks. It's more like where the clay, from wedging it, where it was kind of like compressing together but didn't get finished compressing. They're okay for now because I'm going to score the top and add a coil. But later on, you'll want to, you don't want them there forever.